tuned in to Hot Topics with Donna. And on this show, we do one thing: keep it real hot. That's honest, open, and transparent. If you didn't know, now you know. So sit back and unwind as we bring the vibe and a little bit of glorious sunshine to your heart, soul, and mind. Your lovely host, Hot Donna, will be with you in just a few moments. But while you wait, go ahead and set an atmosphere of peace in your space. If you can, cut the lights down low, get your hydration on, vibration zone. Cause tonight, you're about to receive some delicious food for your soul. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's about to get hot. You are indeed in the one and only place to be this evening. We appreciate you for joining us, and in just a few moments, we about to turn the heat all the way up. That's right. It's about to go down right now on Hot Topics with Donna. Show your virtual love by smashing that thumbs up and heart icon as many times as you can. And without further ado, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing your host, the one and only Hot Donna.
Hello, everybody. I am truly excited to be with you again tonight. So I think my guest is already on here. You know her. She is my friend, my sister. I love her. And we are going to talk about some self-love, self-esteem. And I am your host, Donna Taylor, here on Hot Topics with Donna, where we have ordinary people doing extraordinary things in their lives and in their communities. And so the word that I chose tonight for us and you is acceptance. And it says, those the Father has given me will come to me, and I will never reject them. And that is from John 6:37. And I'm going to read you this right here, and then I'm going to get my guest on. It says, God wants you to know that you are perfect the way you are. You do not need to change the way you look or who you are to feel his acceptance. And that's how we should be with ourselves. But if truth be told, sometimes we don't feel that way for whatever reason. And so as me and my guests divulge in some hot topics, then you can learn what self-esteem and self-love means to each other. Hey, Amy, thank you for tuning in. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on so we can just have some great dialogue. So hold on. And we're just going to get started. I know they're calling for some snow, but we're going to still be good. We're going to be good. We're not going to let this snow hinder us. Hey, my friend. I tell you what, I just want to tell you, I love you. I love how you believe in Hot Topics with Donna and what I'm doing. I thank you for always being honest and open and transparent, because we be having some great dialogue. And that's why when we did our first interview, I was like, she just needs to be my once a month girl talk. We could just have some great talk. and so you heard the word that I chose for what you and I are going to be talking about. And it's just so amazing that a lot of times we don't accept ourselves because we allow people, things, situations make us not love who we are and accept who we are, because I am a living witness that I used to not have self-esteem. I used to not have self-love, self-worth, because I allow people in my circumstances to make me feel that way.
Yep.
You know, but I'm glad that I know who I am now, especially who I am in Christ. So I know my worth now. And I have self-esteem and I have self-love. So we're just gonna just tell people who you are, you know, again, for the people that's just joining. So I'm so excited.
Me too. So my name is Karina Beltry. I am a rhythm lifestyle, and I pretty much talk about, or in my platform, I try to be, I would say, as open, as transparent as I can be, because you can't always disclose everything.
And yes, yes.
But I really do try to be as open and as transparent as I can, because at the end of the day, I'm not the one, I'm not the first or the last that's been through something. And sometimes I feel that if I become the sacrificial lamb, maybe I should, maybe I could be helping someone else who obviously
Amen.
doesn't have the courage
Yes.
to, come forward with whatever, issues that they're struggling with. And I think it really is important that, that we feel, not just women, but, women and
Yes.
men, that we're not alone in the struggle. So,
Yes.
and I struggle about a lot of things. And I think that's one of the reasons that you and I just have such great dialogue, because we can
Yes.
talk about anything, and,
Right.
and we can dive deep, as much as we can in the subject, and we can be as open and as transparent, at least as much as transparent as I can be about
Exactly.
my
Exactly.
past, my history, what I struggle with. And, you know, I know you said, the word, we're going to talk about self-love today. We're going to talk about self-esteem today. And we are definitely, the word of the day is acceptance. And I'll be honest with you, there are days I still don't accept myself.
Amen. Amen.
I
And
just don't.
when we can accept those truths, that's when we're on our way.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we have those days that we don't feel accepted and we don't have the self-love. Hey, Taryn, thank you for joining. And so I was like, I'll be doing my homework. So I was looking up the word self-esteem, and we'll talk about that first.
Yeah.
And it says it is used to describe a person's overall subject served of their personal worth. And I was like, wow. And because we have those things, and then it also says self-esteem meaning feeling of competency, a sense of belonging, how you see yourself, and self-confident, a feeling of security. And a lot of times, girl, when I was going through my stuff, I didn't have all this.
No.
And like you said, some days we still don't have those because of life challenges.
Yes. I remember reading a book that I still keep on my desk, actually. It's called Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. And I came across her on one of those Super Soul Sundays with Oprah. And she was being interviewed by Oprah, and I picked up her book. And Daring Greatly really talks about vulnerability and belonging, right?
Right.
And it's a book that I always suggest people to read, and I still reference it.
Right.
I still reference the book constantly. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go run to get it, because she quotes Theodore Roosevelt's Daring Greatly speech, and I'm going to literally, because I know exactly where it is, I'm literally going to run
Yes,
and get it,
yes.
because it is something that that is so poignant. Because at the end of the day, some people dare greatly every day, some people don't dare greatly every day,
Right, right.
because they don't accept themselves, because they have low self-esteem, because of the scrutiny that we as society put on each other.
Amen.
So that quote that she referenced in the book from Theodore Roosevelt, I'm gonna literally run and go get it, but
Okay.
I'm
And
telling you,
so,
it is really such a strong quote, because at the end of the day, only you are the one that's going through what you're going
yes,
through, and no
yes.
one is in that battlefield with
But
you but you.
is
But yet
exact
everybody's got their little 2 cents and want to put in, the little second opinions and all that stuff, as if they're in the battlefield with you when they're not.
exactly.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna
Yep. Oh,
while she's
Lord, keep
running,
talking. I'm running.
yeah. So while she's going to get this book, we're going to be talking about self-esteem and self-love, because as we stated before, a lot of times we've been in places that we haven't had self-esteem and we haven't had self-love. And I can always be honest and open and transparent. That used to be me. And some days I still feel that way, but I also have to remind myself who I belong to. And he gives me the confidence to say, no,
I'm running.
I didn't tell you who you are for you to allow people to make you feel less than less than what they say you are. So that's my constant reminder for me, that I have to remember who he said I am.
Right.
And especially on those days when I don't feel so great, I don't feel
Girl.
like I have self-love and self-esteem. And I think it's fitting that we're talking about it, because a lot of times we get stuck. And especially as women, I know men do it, but a lot of times men don't divulge how they feel. They want to stay macho, if you will, and say, oh yeah, I love myself. But when they don't, they damage
that's a stigma
relationships.
too. But that's a stigma too, because at the end of the day, men are not allowed to be vulnerable, because that's a sign of weakness to them.
Right, right.
And so that's why you have a lot of mental health issues with men, not, obviously with men, because at the end of the day, they are not allowed to express their feelings like we women do.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, so let me read this. And again, this is
and once it's over, you can type it in so we can go and purchase the book.
Yes, I will do it. So it's called Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. And again, this book right here is what started my self-love journey. And
wow.
And to dare greatly, right? Live boldly.
Yes,
even though it's not perfect, but this book is what, I'll even, before I even say it, I remember telling a best friend of mine about reading the book. And she goes, oh, so now you're into self-help books now? So she tried to shame me,
right,
for reading this book. And to make a long story short, her and I are no longer friends. So, but it was literally a relationship of over 20 years, and I just, again, I'm good.
But do you think reading this book, because as you and I always talk about, we have those signs that we need to cut people off, but do you think this book really allow you to open your mind even the more to say, maybe this is not healthy for me? It doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means you have to start saying no, setting boundaries.
Child, you already know I struggle with boundaries. Let's not even go there, okay? You already know. So even though her and I are no longer friends, when I bought this book, it took me obviously years to realize that there's certain people in your life that you really, really, really love.
Yes.
But you just can't. Yeah. But anyway, so again, this is a quote by Theodore Roosevelt, one of our former presidents. So he says this was delivered at the Sorbonne, Paris in France on April 23rd, 1910.
Wow.
And the passage says this: it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming.
Right.
But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause? Who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly.
Right. But do you find that hard to do sometimes?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, easier read than done.
Yes, yes, yes.
But at the end of the day, it's true. You're in the arena by yourself. You're fighting whatever battle it is on your own. And then you have all these other people over here trying to put in their little 2 cents, but yet they're not in the field with you. They're not fighting that battle with you. So at the end of the day, you know what? All this, and it sounds so cheesy, whatever, but fuck you. You ain't in here with me.
Right.
You're not in here in the struggle with me.
Right.
And I hate to say it like that blunt, that mean, but sometimes you really gotta be that blunt and be like, yo, you ain't here. You're not here.
And that was part of the thing when I was looking it up. It says sometimes we have to be bold. We have to be bold enough to speak our truth in public, because if we don't, people just feel because I'm quiet, because I'm easy, you can just walk over me.
All over you.
I'm just supposed to lay down as this doormat that you see and say, okay, well, here I am. You just gonna have to accept what I give to you.
Yep. Or they think they own you in some way. But again, that's the power that we give them.
Yes, absolutely.
No, because we're guilty. We're guilty. I know.
I am guilty. Yes.
Oh my God, you don't realize how much power you give people. Oh my God.
Exactly.
You know, and it takes your mind, it takes over your mind, it takes, you know, and you just, I don't even want to call it toxic, because at the end of the day, you know, you get so carried away with what they think about you.
Yes.
That you're paralyzed.
Yes. But why do you think do you think we give people that power depending on who they are?
Yes, we do. But I think we give them that power not because, well, it could be a lot of reasons. One, we want to be accepted.
Yes.
Right? We want to belong.
Yes.
Right? Right. Belong to a group or whatever, gang, whatever. We want to have that sense of belonging in some way. And we also want to be accepted, belonging, and then but understood, or at least at the moment you think these people really understand you. And for the most part, we could be blessed and find those people that really do accept you and understand you for who you are.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we're not meant to walk this earth alone either. We are meant to cohabitate and be around each other and love each other, care for one another. But, you know, then there's just those bad apples that are out there, and, you know, they influence us in ways that just because we want to be part of the in crowd or, you know, the group or whatever, we choose to then not be ourselves.
Yeah, and so it says, why is self-esteem so important? And you know, and it says it helps us impact our decision-making process in our relationships, emotionally, and our overall well-being. Because if we have self-esteem and self-worth or whatever, we'll be able to make rational decisions.
Absolutely. And I didn't have a lot of self-esteem growing up. Because of my upbringing. Remember, you know, the struggles that I had. So I felt that my value as a human being was based on their love. And because they didn't love me per se, you know, I felt that I didn't have value amongst other people. But I do, right? I do. And I wasn't walking with Christ, you know, at the time like that, like the way
Absolutely.
I am now.
Right.
But I really thought that my value on this earth was based off of their love for me. So
Right.
if they didn't love me,
Right.
then why would anyone else love me?
Wow.
So
Right.
I literally spent all of my, I'm gonna say my teenage years, and you know, and I had my son at 19, so I was still a
Right.
teenager.
Right.
And I spent my 20s same, you know, which is what, those are the reasons that I ended up being big, you know, the depression and all, because I kept looking for their love and their approval all the time.
All the time.
Thinking
And
that
then when you don't get it, did it send you back in a spiral back down, because you're thinking these people, you know, it could be family, you know, intimate relationships, friendships, and you think these are the people that say they love me, but yet and still, how can they do stuff
or
to damage me, or say to damage me? And so now I got to go back and question who I am. I got to go back and question, maybe I'm not that good. Maybe I'm just not that good, because Joe Smo said, no, you ain't good enough. You need to be this, you need to be that, you know. So thank you, Miss Faye, for joining. But the thing about having self-esteem, and I can talk about a place when I didn't, and I was in a relationship, you know, and I told you.
Yeah.
That is a terrible, terrible, terrible place to be in, especially when you are in love with someone.
Oh my God.
Especially a man. When you're in love with this man, and every time you turn around, it's like, well, I need you to be this. And then you go and you try to emulate
what
they want you to be. And then as soon as you think, oh, well, he's gonna love me, she's gonna love me, because they want me to be this way, they want me to dress this way, so I do all of this. And then when you do it, they'll be like, no. Then it's something else. And for me, it stripped everything that I thought I was away. And so when I got out of that toxic relationship, I didn't even know who I was. I knew my name, but I didn't know who I was. And I looked in the mirror every day and say, who are you?
Child.
Who are you? You know, and then you
that question sometimes still. But yeah, no, I used to ask it a lot. And I had my gastric bypass 12 years ago. I was literally a month shy of 29. I had turned 30 a month after I had the surgery. And even then, it was a decision that I made for myself, that I was just like, okay, Karina, who are you? And I had to start with the exterior. I hate to say that, but I didn't. Because even that was part of an issue with these people. Because not only who Karina was a problem, also the way Karina looked was a problem. So if I looked different,
maybe you'll be
thinner, that I would be accepted and loved.
Didn't happen.
No.
And you know, and for people, I mean, and for you, and it could be for other people too, you went from trying to just do it, you did it. You went to a whole nother extreme, because you felt that if my outer
was better,
then they're gonna love me. And that's what I said. Like when you try to fix things on the outside, that's just superficial, because it's not going to change the way they feel about you at all.
Trust me, and we gonna dig deep, because trust me, this is gonna have, I'm telling you, I'm not even that. I told you, I'm literally about to share something with you that some people know.
Right.
I'm not ashamed about it, but I have not publicly come out about it, and I will be publicly saying this to you today.
Wow. And I'm truly honored, because when we talked, and I was like, wow. And for me, I am truly grateful, because I have so many people that I interview, and sometimes they share their truth for the first time on, Hot Topics with Donna. And I do not take that lightly, because I feel that God has granted me that gift to make people comfortable enough to share their truth, because people are hurting. People are hurting. And I mean, we just 1 month shy into, and January is about gone, but people still carrying baggage from years and years. And when you and I and my other guests can be honest, open, and transparent about their truth, we don't know how that opened doors for people to start walking into self-esteem, self-love,
self-care, acceptance, like all the things that we are going to discuss today. Child. Anyway, I went through obviously my weight loss journey. And even then I still, wasn't satisfied, because in the end, yes, being thinner, yes, it's Karina, but it's not.
Right.
That's just my outer shell. What really is, what Karina is, or what we all are, is what's in here. Like literally what's in here, what's inside of you.
Yes.
Oh my God. And once I realized that not that the outer shell doesn't matter, but it's not important. I'm telling you, people, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that, because like I said, everything's gonna make sense when I spill the beans in a minute, because I know I'm sure your viewers will be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, that's how I want to know. But let me and so let me give you some more dialogue. And it says, people with healthy self-esteem have firm understanding of their skills. They're able to maintain healthy relationships with others, because they have healthy relationship with themselves.
Yes.
And it says, and they have a real expectation, an appropriate expectation of themselves and their abilities. And then they understand their needs and able to express them. And people with all of these things, that's what they say make a person great in having that self-esteem. And I'm like, oh, okay. And when I was reading this, I was like, well, I didn't have a lot of that, when I was in my low place. I didn't have a lot of that, because like you said, we're trying to fit in. We're trying to be accepted in whatever circle or arena that we're in, whether it's relationships, whether it's at our jobs, whether it's at church, whether it's in our families. And that's the truth of the matter, because we want to be accepted in every arena
that we step into.
We find ourselves. Yes.
Yeah.
And when we don't, that's the question. When we don't, how
am I good enough?
Oh
my God, I'm not good enough. You literally start questioning everything about yourself. And sometimes that one negative thing will literally overshadow all the other good things that are about you, because again, we're just so programmed to feel like that one negative thing trumps the good stuff. And why is it that we let that one negative thing just literally just destroy all the other good, the good that you have in you, right?
Because I think, sis, it's because, and if I'm wrong, we just talk honest, open. I believe that it depends on who the information comes from.
True. Oh my God, yeah. Especially for somebody you believe in, you respect.
Yes.
And if they come at you left, and you're like, dang, man, I really have mad respect for you.
Exactly. Exactly. I think it
Becomes
depends
more
on the
valid.
person that it comes from, because if you're in love with this person, whether it's family, husband, significant other, and when it
Yep.
comes from them, it's like, wow. So is this really how you've been feeling? And
People
now,
value their opinion in a way. Oh
yeah,
my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Because it's true. Because if you hear some some Tom, Dick, and Harry say whatever, and you're like, yeah, whatever. They don't
yes,
mean nothing to you, but
yes,
it's true
yes,
because it is the words that hurt from the people that obviously that love you the most, that you trust the most. Because again,
exactly.
those wounds are just
Yeah, yeah. And then you're trying to figure out, how can I bounce back? How can I make Donna better? How can I make Karina better? How can I make Miss Faye better? How can I make myself better from these people that say they love me, but at the same time they can cut me with their words
child.
and make me feel as if I haven't had it together when I thought I was doing good.
When I
But
thought
now
I was
here
doing so
you
good, I was
telling me,
doing pretty good. Apparently not.
and you telling me, no, you don't have it together.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why when I got saved, I started to say, well, he created me. So all these things that I didn't like about myself, my nose or whatever. But when I got saved, I was like, oh, the man that created me said, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So
Amazing.
now when you try to come with me, sometimes it kind of shock you, but then you'll be like, not today. I won't accept that from you.
Be like, not you, Satan, not today. I rebuke you,
No,
not today.
yes, I won't accept that from you, because I know who he said I am. Because at the end of the day, and this is how I look at my life now, no matter what people think of me, as long as I stay connected to him, he's always going to remind me who I am. And that's how Donna gets through the day. That's how I get through weeks. Because when people try to tell me who I ain't and what they think and all this kind of stuff, I have to remember Father said, that's not so, because who are they?
Yes. But
Because if I expose them, then they won't have room to talk about you.
Yeah. But even then, I'm at the point now that I don't even want to bother with the back and forth, because karma comes around, and eventually, God will trust me, he will handle that, especially when you least suspect it. I've seen it happen.
And me too. But you know what? I always tell God, because I laugh at him sometimes, because I was like, you're so funny, because like sometimes when you just want to tell people off, and you just get ready to say it, and he just be like, be quiet. Just sit down.
I failed at that 2 weeks ago.
And you know what? He's gonna bring it back around to you.
I failed at that. Most of the time, I don't rant. I'd rather vent to my husband, but
right.
I'll say it because I put it on Facebook. I bought a painting from a gallery.
Right.
The person has been giving me the runaround since December. We've, again, without getting into the weeds, I think her customer service is not great.
Right.
I mean, again, and I pride myself in my customer service skills, so I'm good at what I do. Exactly. But anyway, we finally agreed to go pick up the painting Saturday the 15th.
Right.
I drove all the way to High Point. I had a lot to do that day, and I had to scramble to do everything that I had to do, because I had to be there at a certain time. And again, I live in Youngsville now, and even where I lived, it's still an hour and 45 minutes. So that's not right there.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. Tell me why I walked up to a closed gallery. Then I call her. She answers the phone, realizes who I am, and you hear the click.
So, in your mind, you were saying,
like, wait, maybe she dropped the phone. It happens to the best of us.
Right, right.
I call her again, voicemail. And then she sends me some text message. At that moment, I hate to say, I don't give a shit what your damn excuse is.
Right, right, right.
You should have called, or you could have sent a text message.
Right.
You could have answered my phone call. Talk to me like a grown business adult.
Yes.
Because you can bullshit anybody over the phone.
Right. Absolutely.
Ain't nobody, it's not like me and you, we're face to face. But when you're talking to somebody on the phone, you can bullshit anybody over the phone, and you can lie and just say whatever. They're on the phone.
Right.
But this person didn't even have at least the business sense to talk to me correct.
And that's what I'm saying. And if the truth be told, that could be some of her self-esteem issue.
Whatever. I didn't care. I was not Christian that day. I don't care.
But I'm just saying, using that situation, because it clearly said, when we don't have self-esteem, it affects our decision-making skills.
Child. I was like, I done wasted 2 hours. I done driven all the way over here. I'm like, not only did the gallery's closed, she didn't call, hung up on a girl, and then transferred a voicemail. I was livid. I was not together. I was foolish. So I was, again, not Christian. I was out of character.
Did you go back and make it right?
No.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
I mean, I had to change the photo because the gallery, because at the moment I took a picture of the gallery, and the person that owns the gallery is the owner, but the person who I bought the picture from shares the space. So I made it right with the owner of the gallery.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, my business wasn't with her.
It was with
someone who was renting space within the gallery. So I made it correct there. But at the end of the day, but again, what I'm trying to say is that day, Karina did not shut the fuck up. Karina literally decided to and put it on Facebook.
Right.
Whether or not I was correct or wrong in saying what happened, it's still a genuine response.
But this is the thing.
Flawed.
We're not gonna always get it right. We're not, because sometimes my mouth, I tell people all the time, God is truly working with me on my mouth, because sometimes my mouth gets me in trouble because I just want to say what I want to say.
Listen, it was one of those, I'm like, God forgive me. I'm like, and I remember a friend of mine actually met me for dinner to help me calm down. I'm like, this is why I need Jesus, because I can't calm myself down with things like this. I'm like, I'm just not there yet. I can't hold my composure. It was literally one of those situations that really took me from 0 to 200 miles an hour really quick.
Exactly.
So, I still have a lot of growing, a lot of learning, and a lot of control that I have to do.
But we do, and that's why I love when me and you talk, because we can talk so candid, and the beauty of it is when we can own up to our own stuff.
Listen,
because like I said, we can fool people all day long, but the most thing that I love about you is your honesty, is your transparency, because we missed the mark, saved or unsaved. We missed the mark, and when people think that they have arrived and haven't missed the mark, then they can have some candid talks with you tonight too.
The holier than thou, those people, those.
Exactly.
And that's why the church in a way suffers, because again, the congregation in itself becomes so judgmental to the person that makes a mistake, to the person that has those flaws, that how can you come clean to God or the congregation? Because again, you attest, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe that's the word, but you think this is God by the church, right? So,
right.
So if this is what God is, and these people are, you know, judging you and doing what, you know, saying things about you, then that's what, again, takes away people from God or from a church. Because again, you have those, you know, you have those members that think that they're so perfect, you know, and they're just so holier than thou. They don't make any mistakes, you know what I mean?
Or
And,
they
you know,
haven't made any mistakes.
oh
And
my
then when they
God.
get on this side,
And I'm just like, you know what? Those are the bigger sinners right there. Because again, because God literally wants us to love each other despite of whatever.
exactly.
In spite of.
And the
And
thing
I'm just
about
like,
it is, when people show us who they really are, and I'm like, I may not be where you are, but
yeah,
if you say we serve the same God, then you're gonna love me, not talk
regardless.
about me. You're gonna pray for me, not talk about me. And if I need some counseling or some training, whether it's with my dressing or whatever, you pull me aside and say, listen, hon, you know what? I see that something is going on. I am here to help you and assist you and not judge you.
And shame you, because that's another thing that she talks about, you know, Brady Brown talks about shame. Because again, we're so good at shaming people for, you know, their shortcomings and their mistakes and stuff, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, you know, again, I'm not saying I don't walk in shame, but at this moment, what I do, you ain't gonna shame me. So the only person who I'm just like, damn, God, I can't believe I done fucked up. That's the one I'm shamed about. Is him.
Exactly.
That's the one.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, I don't care what you think. I don't care what she thinks. I don't care what she thinks. Because if I know I fucked up, like I know it's to him.
Yes. And you know, and the thing about it is, you know when you do it, because you be like, oh, woo. But the thing about him, he loves us because of who we are. And he knows, he already knew Karina was gonna go off that day. He knows. But the one thing about him, he loves us. Even when we have shortcomings, he still loves us. And that's what we have to realize, that we're all human.
But this is the kicker though, and I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. But just because I know he loves me
doesn't give you the right
give me the right to fuck up.
Right.
Okay?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Let me go rob that, because God loves me. God's gonna forgive me anyway. Yeah. No, I mean that's the thing. You know, just because I know he loves me does not give me the right to, you know, act out. Now, like I said before, you know, I told you I was struggling with obedience. I was struggling with a few things. I'm getting better. I'm not completely free, right? Because this is, again, a process. Because I literally asked God the other day, I was like, God, why do I feel the way I feel? I'm like, oh my God. Like, I literally have those meltdowns in the bathroom or in the shower. Sometimes in my bed by myself. I'm like, why? I'm like, what was the point? And then I'm like, you know I fucked up, right? I'm like, and you still covered me. Why? You know,
that's real.
I literally go, why did you cover me anyway? I'm like, oh my God.
And
dead ass serious. I mean, and I'm telling you, I literally have those meltdowns with God at least twice a week.
But you still write, right? You still writing.
I write to him all the time.
You're still writing. And so now I'm gonna tell you what it says about people with low self-esteem tend to feel lost, less sure of their abilities, and may doubt their decision-making skills.
Well, when I had low self-esteem, I had to go to God.
Right.
And I asked God, and this is one of the reasons where Psalm 91 comes in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Psalm 91 is tattooed in my arm because I was at my lowest, everything. Everything, financially, marriage, my body, you know, who I was.
Right.
And I shared this in my radio show last year, but I had a dream, and it again, I'm not going to call it a dream, but it was literally like a dream where I was up and there were these 3 smoke figures, and they were demons, right? And it's so funny because, and again, people can say, call me crazy. They can call me what the fuck they want. I don't really care. But there were these 3 demons. There were these 3 demons in the shape of smoke, dark smoke. And they were like, yeah, you know, and they were talking to me like I wasn't worthy, like you're going to be homeless. Your husband's going to leave you. Yeah, your mother doesn't love you. And I'm like, no, no, no. And I'm fighting. I'm like, no, no, no. So they had, there were 2 demons, one holding me on each side of my, like my wrists. And then they shoved me to the wall. So now I'm like this, pinned to the wall. And again, this is all a dream, but you know, to me it was real. And then the third demon tried to come and smoke in through my throat. And I was choking. And I had said something my grandmother said in Spanish. I can't remember. And as I kept saying it, as I was choking, that was when like the demon couldn't get in my throat. Right. And then the other 2 demons they went across the wall and were like this, like, you know, and then they disappeared. Wow. It's like they, you know, they disappeared from the room. All the 3 smoke figures. And at the time, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't call my pastor. Right. And I said, I need scripture. I need scripture. And I picked up my Bible, and all I did was like, fell right on Psalm 91. Wow. And so then again, every time I'm scared, every time I'm, you know, freaking out, doubting myself, whatever. Right. I come back. Psalm 91. And he reminds me he's going to cover me with his feathers every time. Yes, every time. Every time. So, yeah. And so self-esteem, yeah, God had to get me out of that one.
So when you was in your place of low self-esteem, and it says factors that affect self-esteem: your age, your disability, genetics, illness, physical abilities, socioeconomic status, and your thought patterns.
Yep. At the time, I was in my late 20s, but again, my physical appearance, my financial status, because all those things, you know, took a play into my insecurities. Right. And like I said, only God could really take me out of that. And that, I think the best advice that I could give anyone, not that, you know, if anybody ever wants to come talk to me, they can come talk to me or whatever. Right. But when I tell you that when you are in like your lowest of the low, I'm telling you, go to God in your raw, broken, just confused. I am just go to God in your truest form. In your truest form. Yes. And I'm telling you, I've done that many times since then, you know.
I do too. And you know, and I tell people, when we are going through all these life challenges, are we willing to get on the operating table and allow him to operate on us?
Child.
Allow him to take whatever we need out, whether self-esteem issues, you know, insecurity issues, hatred, unforgiveness. And I always say, are we willing to lay on the operating table and allow him to operate on us to the capacity that he can make us whole, because he's the only one that can make us whole from inside out.
And it's a work in progress. So even though I'm telling you this now, I'm still a work in progress now. Am I better in a better position, you know, spiritually than I was then? Absolutely. Am I even more conscious now of my short, like if I sin, right? Let's talk about sin. So now I'm more conscious of my sin. I'm just more conscious because he delivered me from so many things and still continues to deliver me from so many things. That again, I don't feel that I'm worthy of. But again, the least I could do, I may not be always able to obey, but damn it, I'm gonna give him praise. And I'm gonna let people know God did that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what And that's what he's looking for. Karina, that is what he's looking for.
Child.
He's looking for realness. He is tired of people being fake. He is tired of people saying, oh, well, you know, when we can go to him, like you said, in our rawest form, naked before him and say, listen, this is who I am, Lord. You know, you created me. And that's why when I come to him, I don't go to him and be like, well, if they wouldn't have said, and I can be in my car and I can be like, Lord, I had a jacked up mess. I messed up today. You know what? Okay, help me. Because he wants us to come to before him real. He don't want us to make it cute and be like, well, you know, no.
Right. When
we
bullshitting your best friend, you're bullshitting your best friend. Yeah, girl.
Yeah. But he already sitting there. When we come to him, he be like, okay. So now when you going to get real with me? Because I already know what you did, what you thought. So I need you to come.
He already knows what you're going to do. He already knows.
Yeah.
It's true.
And you have to go, and I go to him.
Know.
He does. And I go to him naked. And I be like, you know what? My attitude may have sunk today. I should have kept my mouth closed, but I didn't. And that's when he can start working on us.
You.
Working, because we're coming to him not with excuses, because we can make excuses all day for why we act the way we act, why we do what we do. But at the end of the day, we have free choice. And sometimes that free choice gets us in trouble.
Sure. And you know, sometimes they be thinking, oh, it's the devil. Oh, the devil did that bullshit. You did that yourself.
Exactly.
You don't blame the devil for everything, because the devil don't always do it. You know it was you.
We have free will. Exactly. We have free will. And so
he's sitting there laughing, looking at you, laughing, but we do that.
Yes.
The devil didn't make you do nothing.
And you know what? Because you know it's easy for us to blame
the devil or blame somebody else.
Yes, or blame somebody else. And so when my last thing, it says healthy self-esteem. It says you avoid dwelling on the past negative experience. Then we believe you are equal to everyone else, no better, no worse. We express our needs. We feel confident. We have a positive outlook on life. Say no when we want to, and see your overall strength and weakness and accept them.
I still struggle with no. You already know.
But you know what? That's what I'm going to say. I have faith in you that 2022, you're going to be able to say no. You're going to be able to cut a loose when you need to. Because I'm going to tell you, my girlfriend, she said, you know, last year, she said, you know, I had scissors, you know, and I didn't have a problem cutting people off. She was like, but this year, she said, I have shears. She said, you know, they cut thorns. So she said, that's what I'm carrying. She said, that's what I'm having this year. And I said, and sometimes we need that. Sometimes we have to cut people off when we know.
I hope not. I don't like doing that. I hope not. I hope that I can just have healthy boundaries.
I know that is one of your biggest thing, because of who you are, because of the heart that you have.
Yeah, no, I want to keep everybody here. I just think that maybe I just need to establish boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know boundaries. Either I'm cool with you or I'm not. There's not really a healthy middle for me.
Right.
And I've literally realized that about myself.
Right.
In this past year, that I don't know boundaries. Like I said, either I'm good with you and I will go the extra mile, do whatever it takes for you, or I'll do shit for you. You know what I mean? There's no.
Why do you feel you can't go? Why do you feel it's either this or that, and there's no
gray area? I don't know. You know, and that's been the kind of like the question that I've been asking God to sort of reveal to me. And I feel like he has revealed it to me, but maybe not clear enough for me to understand, you know?
Right.
I'm like, you know, sometimes I'll be like, is this one of y'all? I said, God, is this one of you? Is this you? I was like, I'm like, that's not clear enough for me. I'm like, can you talk to me like I'm in second grade or something?
Right. And you have to, and he would make it just as plain as we need
just as
it.
plain at the level of understanding that I can comprehend.
Absolutely,
that is one thing I do love about God. God will come to you in the level of understanding that you can absorb his message.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, he will.
Oh, I love that about him. Love it.
Yeah. And so since you said love, we're gonna start talking about self-love.
Oh. Where do I begin? Because self-love can be so many different things for so many different people. Self-love could be
the definition, it says, is the belief you hold that you are valued and a worthy person. And they gave me 5 types of self-love.
Okay.
It's physical, emotional, mental, intellectual, social, and spiritual.
I'm all the above.
Yeah.
I am all of the above.
Yeah.
And of course, you know that everybody talks about the 5 love languages.
Yes.
You know.
And a lot of people don't know their love language.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't.
So mine is words
of affirmation.
You know, words of affirmation.
Yes.
And then the second one is acts of kindness.
Wow. And mine is quality time and physical touch. And it's not, and before people think physical touch is not, we're not talking about sexual. We're just talking about
physical touch.
Yeah, and that is mine. And I do like words of affirmation, but those are my 2. Those are my 2. Mm-hmm. Because for me, quality time is everything for me, whether it's with my friends or whether it's with a significant other. Right. And the physical touch is that I'm a hugger. I like to hug people.
You know that.
Yeah, and so that's mine. But you know, a lot of people, you know, they really don't know, and especially in relationships. I'm talking about intimate relationships. A lot of people don't know what their love language is, and I think that's when we get in error, when we don't know the people that we're with. Right,
or their love language.
Yes.
But then of course, then you have the other people, you know, the judgmental folks that are like, you know, so and so is doing this, so and so, not realizing that sometimes you and I have an understanding of each other's love language, and we communicate in each other's love language, not realizing that the outside people don't understand. It is the most beautiful thing when you have a friend or whatever, not necessarily, because like I said, I got my husband, I got him, but I feel like I make love to a lot of people.
Exactly. I do. Because when you know your love language, for me, it puts you in a place of great self-esteem for yourself, and then you can exude it out for other people. Because if I don't know my love language, then hey, I can be confused sometimes. But my quality time, that is my far biggest one, with my girlfriends, with my person, because that's who I am. And when we learn our love language, it doesn't mean that if I don't get it, I'm gonna fall apart. It just means that when I get it, you're gonna see the true me. You'll see you see who I am, and I'm true to that. But when you giving my love language and I'm getting that, then you can be like, oh, so is this all she needs for her to be this way, or he this way? Because it's like we're being fed what we need.
Right. And for me, acts of kindness, I think fills all the other things. Because see, I feel that I'm a thoughtful person, so I'm always conscious about, you know, people's needs. So, and then when I feel like I'm not thought of, you know, you can't help but wonder, damn, do I matter?
Right.
And it plays with your self-esteem.
Oh, of course.
You know? So because I am a thoughtful person, because I'm constantly thinking about other people more than myself,
Right.
just again, random acts of kindness to me is, you know, a simple text message. Hey, I'm thinking about you. I already told you I
Right.
love my
Right.
friends too, and I didn't even hit her up. You already know about that. Let's not even go
Right.
down
Right.
that
Right.
rabbit hole.
Right. Right.
But it's just that little thing to let you know
Yes.
I'm thinking
Yes.
of you and
Mhm.
I love you. And
Yes.
that, again, it fills my day. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Like you said,
it
you're just
does.
so filled.
It really does. And you know, like I enjoy and I love telling people that I love them.
Right, me too.
That I do. I tell my friends that, and you know, I tell my coworkers that. If I work closely with you, when I leave the end of the day, you know, I always say I love you, because for me, I always want people to know that Donna loves you.
Right.
And it's not that
Same.
fake love that I need something in return because I tell you I love you. If I tell you I love you, I love you.
I love you.
It's no hidden agenda, because
No.
we live in a society that some people don't get I love you.
Or some people say you use the term too loosely.
Right.
At least, I mean, I say it loosely, but that's because I know what love is to me.
Exactly.
To me.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so it's true. You know, I
Yes.
got mad love for you. You know, love you, girl. Whatever. But again,
Yes.
it's still a good gesture to make someone feel
Right.
good about themselves. Because again,
Right.
you could be at the grocery store, see the person
Mhm.
behind you, and all you have to do is,
Mhm.
hey, how are you?
Yes.
Oh my God, did you see this?
Yes.
Blah blah blah
Yes.
blah 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 blah.
Yes.
Oh my God, you have a
Right.
good day,
Right.
okay? Yo, you done just made their day.
Made their
You
day.
didn't even know.
And I tell people, because you know, I always say when we're kind to people,
Mhm.
and like you said, you don't know that they could have been contemplating suicide. They
Wow.
could have just been losing everything. And just because you acknowledge
It's their
presence,
presence
you don't know. They may say, I can do this. She
today.
acknowledged me, and the smile was genuine. But then what happens if we wouldn't have said that hello?
We don't know. And
Or
that's
you
God
look
right
nice
there.
today.
That's God
Yes.
right. That's literally God.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you know what? As
Absolutely.
much as I do that to people randomly at a store, you know how many
Yes.
times it's been reciprocated to me
Yes. Yes. Yes.
on the daily?
Yes. Amen to that. Yes.
On the
Yes.
daily, even on the phone when I'm talking to patients. So again, how dare I not praise him, and how dare I
Exactly.
not reciprocate, or if someone shows me love and it's almost like
Exactly.
I was like, damn, how did they know? They just said the right thing. So
Yes.
I pay that forward.
Yes. Me
I
too.
pay it forward, but again, not because it comes back. It's just that it's so good to do.
It is. It
It is
is.
good.
And then when you can genuinely
Yeah.
say you look nice and don't even look, or even like you said,
Yeah.
if he doesn't bless you because you said hello, I'm good with that.
Mhm.
Because when you look at people, and because of so much stuff is going on, when you just have a kind smile, a kind word, how do you not serve a God like that? Because he does it to us. Even when we're in our mess, he still hugs us and comforts us and says, I
Yeah.
got you. I got you. And so
Every day.
why can't we just be like he is
Like
with us?
him. It's matter of fact, before, you know, I had to go get a COVID test, and I was in line, and I said, "Hey, good morning. How are you? Happy Saturday! Oh my God, it's such a
Right,
beautiful day."
right.
It's cheesy. Why are you so cheerful? I said, "Because we're not 6 feet under, ma'am."
Exactly. Amen. Exactly.
She goes, "That's a good way to look at it." I said,
Oh,
"Hell yeah, we alive." I was like, "And the sun's out, and it's not even that cold out today." Absolutely. And then that's it. And I was like, "Have a good day." You know, keep going.
and that gives them something to think about, because you could have changed her mindset for the rest of the day.
For the rest of the day. Yeah.
You could have, and you don't know, but your kind words, your cheerfulness set the tone, maybe for when somebody else come up, she'll
True.
have that same enthusiasm and be like, hey, good morning,
Good
how are
morning.
you? Instead of like, she don't want to be
Absolutely.
here and just doing her job. She's like,
Yeah,
whatever.
right. You know, because again, she's just in line. So, you know, God knows, you know, she could be, you know, miserable or whatever. But, you know,
Exactly.
I mean, it was just like, dang, you know. And all I said was, hi, how are you? Happy Saturday. How are you? And it was just the weirdest that you, why are you so cheerful? You know, it
Exactly.
was just, I'm like, and again, and I didn't change my choice because we're not 6 feet under, ma'am.
Girl, I'm thankful to be on this side. I am so thankful. So they says 13 steps to achieving total self-love.
Oh,
Number
God.
1, stop comparing yourself to others. Number 2, don't worry about others' opinion. Allow yourself to make mistakes.
I'm good at that.
Remember, your value doesn't lie in how your body looks.
True.
Don't be afraid to let go of toxic people.
I've had to do it. So it can
Yep.
it can be done because I've done it. It's not
You
easy, but it
can.
can be done.
And,
Yep.
and it says process your fears. Trust yourself to make good decisions for yourself. Take every opportunity life presents or create your own.
Yep.
Put yourself first.
Not good at
Feel pain and joy as fully as you can.
Yep.
Exercise boldness in public. See beauty in the simple things.
Yep.
And be kind to yourself.
that. I'm not always kind. So out of those, what, 13?
Yes.
8 I do.
8. Yeah. Yeah. I don't a lot of times I don't my biggest one that I do not do is put myself first. And my girlfriend have to always constantly remind you or remind me it's okay to be selfish sometimes.
Yep.
Because of who I am, because I give. And she said, you have to learn to put yourself first because you give so much of yourself. And when you give so much of yourself, you're not doing it looking for anything in return. You just do it because that's just who you are.
In your heart.
Yes. And
I'm not always kind to myself.
I'm not always kind to myself either. And sometimes I don't like to feel the pain and joy as full as I can. And I was reading that and it was saying we have to learn to accept the pain and the joys that we have in life. And sometimes for me, I can easily block out the pain and not deal with it.
I don't block it. I either wallow in it.
Right.
Right? I'm at Pain Beach way too long.
Right. And see, I don't, it takes me a while. I can sit in my pain and people won't know I'm in my pain. You know what I mean? Because I've taught myself that skill to, even when I'm in pain, only my closest friends know I'm in that pain.
Right.
But for the most part, no one knows that I'm in that pain because I pick myself up and continue to go. And sometimes when I allow myself to feel that pain, it's when I'm by myself. Yeah. And this crazy thing, and you'll get it. I feel the most of my pain, or I release most of my pain when I am in the tub, just soaking and listening to music.
I don't soak in the tub. I don't do that, but I definitely listen to music.
Yeah, that's when I release my pain. And I know, because I love showers, but when I know my body needs to release that toxic, the pain, I get in a tub. I was staying there like an hour, let water out, put hot water in.
I ain't got no tub in here, so damn.
And that's the way I release my pain, because for me,
you let it go in the water.
I let it go in the water, but also for me, I'm very private when it comes to my pain, because you don't want people if you will, to judge you and put you in a place of not having self-esteem, not having self-love anymore. So for me, to protect me, I allow my pain to be in the tub, to be in that space.
I've been able to confide in few people about my pain.
Right. Hey, Sheena.
And hey, Sheena. What's up, sis? I miss you.
I know, I miss her too.
I've been able, and I think that's where, again, I gotta thank God for sending me someone that I can vent and be almost just like God.
Yes.
The way I am with God.
Yes, yes.
And be able to be, again, my truest form. And not experience shame.
Yes.
And that was when, and again, that happened last year.
Right, right.
That was when I, you know, because I always say, yeah, God, I know you love me. I know this and that,
Right,
blah, blah,
right,
blah.
right.
But, yo, when I confessed to these certain people, just as if I was confessing to God.
Yes, yes.
Donna, these people, I know they're not God, but they were for the moment. They were for the moment.
Exactly.
And
but those are the people he put in our lives.
He put in my life so that I could talk to him in physical form.
Right, right.
Does that make sense? I know it sounds so cheesy.
Yes, no, it does. It does.
Oh my God. And that was when I realized that he loves me, that he, and I will say it like that, he fucking loves me no matter what.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
You know? Oh my God. And I was just like.
Because he knows what Karina needs. He knows that she loves me, but she needs someone that she can physically get this out to talk to. And I have those friends too. And I'm gonna tell you,
God,
sometimes I don't even call them when I'm going through the storm, if you will. But they always know, and they'll be like, "You okay?" I haven't heard from you. Yeah, and I thank God, and that's why I don't take those relationships for granted. But for the most part, I have learned, because remember, I told you my late husband, he told everybody, "Oh, she's strong. She is strong. She's like," and I think I have lived up to that for so long that now my place in the tub is where I release, and I don't have to be strong because he's no longer telling people that, "Oh, she's strong," because when you have someone that loves you and believes in you just that much, you will rise to that occasion.
Yeah,
because you don't want to let them down, and even in his sickness, I couldn't be weak.
Right.
And like I told you, there was times when, I'm going to work. I have this emotional breakdown, but I get to work. Hey, I put my strong hat back on, have another emotional breakdown coming home when I get before him.
Remember those?
I'm strong, she woman is here like you, hey, what you need? And so now, going into 2 years, I realized that my place of solitude to release my pain is in the water. It's in the water. It's in the water, and it's almost like a baptism.
I was gonna say being born again. You little, I was gonna let you say it. But that's exactly what I was thinking of.
It's almost like a baptism for me, because when I get out, I come out clean. I come out clean, and I know that I'm saved. But when I come out and let that pain out in that water, I am renewed.
I'm gonna have to do a
Until
shower
the
version of
next,
that.
yes, until the next moment when he says, I need you to release this now.
Yeah.
You see, because when we are hurt and we have all these struggles and life challenges, you know, like you, however you release yours in your writing, I release mine in the water.
In the
And
water.
whenever I feel I need to do that, I know it's time for me to run this back water, because I know in that water is where I'm going to be releasing all this toxic stuff that has been keeping me in bondage so long.
Yes.
You know?
Child.
And other people that may be watching, your thing may be something different. Some people work out, some people just clean, but whatever we have to release to get self-love, to get self-esteem, we have to release those things, and we have to stop being in denial and thinking because I don't have self-love in this area or self-esteem in this area that I'm less of a person. No, that means that you're human. That means that you want to be healed from all of this stuff.
Yes.
All
So
of this stuff. So
here
I know.
so let me tell you. Okay, so we've talked about acceptance, self-love, you know, self-esteem, and all things. So here I am. I'm gonna let you know what I just did.
Go ahead, because and you know people waiting.
I don't know whether they are or not, but that's okay. But when we had already discussed what the subject matter was going to be, I said, you know what, I need to share this because it falls right in line with everything that we're saying.
Right.
And again, to the unwise person, it may not be received the same, but again, to a person who is a bit wise will understand that everything is a circle and everything applies regardless, right? So, of course, you know, I was 336 pounds. I've got down to 135 pounds.
Right.
And all of these years, as my body has changed, right, I have never been able to accept what I look like naked in the mirror.
Wow.
Let's go there.
So
let's go. Go ahead. Ask.
So, because you know you always get me all messed up, you know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So you go through all this
transformation,
all this transformation, and for you guys just tuning in, thank you. You have to go back and catch up to where we're at now. But so, in a nutshell, I'm gonna speed you up. She had this life-changing surgery because she felt she needed to fix the outer. So fixing the outer still wasn't good enough. Enough. So now you're here. And I see you, we model together, you know, whatever you got going on. So now you're saying, when you stood before the mirror, naked and unclothed, you still found flaws
within myself,
within yourself.
Now,
and I know, just like you said, people in their minds probably thinking, well, what is she talking about? It doesn't matter how we see her right now. It doesn't matter how she was, you know, over 200 plus pounds. And now you're looking at her and like, well, hey, she look like she, you know, together. But when you see, doesn't matter what Donna see. It doesn't matter what I see. It's what you see. And so now, you don't like the person that you see.
So aesthetics, right? Let's say my outer shell.
Right.
Because again, my outer shell, again, isn't, you know, again, it shouldn't be valued, right? It's what the inside, again.
Right.
And again, this is such a controversial subject because at the end of the day, it is how I see myself, right? But
and that's your truth.
Yeah, it's how I see myself. But again, just because I may not like what this is,
right,
doesn't mean that I'm less than, or it doesn't mean that I'm not a good person. and then I'm able to do good to other people. So even though I may not like the skin I'm in, let's see, the skin I'm in, I still love who Karina is.
Right. There's a difference, everyone. There's
exactly. So I am not the skin I'm in, but I am who I am in, you know, my soul, my personality, and all of that, right?
Absolutely.
So like I said, I was like, man, this is a good one. So anyway.
So what did you do?
I have been struggling with accepting my body as it looks like through this through this change or the metamorphosis or whatever.
Right.
So no matter how much I exercised, and you already know, because you know I'm very, you know, and my husband be like, nah, babe, you don't need it for great, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. And I tried to accept my body all these years, mind you. Again, this was 12 years ago that I had, you know,
right.
And you know what? I said, no. So I made a bold move, and I had plastic surgery. And I had what you call a mommy makeover.
Okay.
And it consists of a tummy tuck and a breast lift. So now I have breasts and implants.
Okay.
So you see this is my drain, which I actually drained before we started the show. But so this is the drain that's in for my tummy tuck. I had the surgery last week. I went to Texas. I was in Austin. My doctor is Dr. Ramud Sharapu from Me Aesthetics. Anyway, so I went ahead and I fulfilled a dream.
So let me ask you this question. So after all this and Karina heals, right? What happens? And you know, I'm just being honest and open, transparent. What happens if you're not satisfied?
Shit. I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Let me tell you, because I'm gonna be honest. This shit.
Because you know I ask those questions because people probably sitting there thinking, and I ask you questions with no disrespect, but I mean I'm just saying, like once all of this is done, she said laugh out loud. She said laugh out loud, Donna.
I see it. I don't listen. First of all, I flew back not recommended, people, please don't. I flew back 3 days post-op.
Right.
Because I didn't have enough PTO in my job, so I had to fucking come back home. I flew back.
Right.
So I flew out Tuesday. My surgery was supposed to be Wednesday. Something happened. Got changed to freaking Thursday. So I had planned on 4 days post-op. But again, ended up flying back Sunday, 3 days post-op. And let me tell you, my body really did suffer from that trip. Okay.
Yes. But
I don't recommend it. People, please don't. But I had to do it. But let me tell you,
what happened?
I mean, you bleed more. You bleed more from being in the altitude and the plane. Listen, and I'm already an anemic person. So when I tell you that I was looking flushy and I was winded because I just lost way too much blood. But anyway, I pray because again, I've always wanted this done, and I've been fighting it for so long. And my husband's like, no,
what was the pivoting?
You go to the gym, everything will retract. And I'm like, nah, dude, ain't gonna happen. I'm like, this shit's gonna have to get cut, and again, you're like, no, So finally,
what was your pivoting point that made Karina decide this is what? Because like you said, you've been working out. You work out, and you was looking good to me. But there again, only because you look good to me.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how you look to someone else. It matters how you saw yourself. And so What was the deciding factor?
Oh my
Was
God.
it when you stood in the mirror and say, oh, no, this is not working for me? What was the deciding factor?
I'm going to tell you really what the stressing factor was. It wasn't the belly. It was my breasts. I hated them, okay? And no matter how much, and I just kept going down in scale. I was never, they would just, blah. I hate saying it, but they would just, blah. And I just got tired of looking at them. I really did. And I was just like, you know what? Do it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: how did your husband respond, and was he on board, or did he just say, you know,
Well,
because they be our husbands or whatever, significant others, and they'd be like, you know, they're fine. So how was his response?
so one, he always knew that I've always wanted this. And of course, he always tried to talk me out of it. Oh, baby, you don't need it. You're fine. If you keep exercising, if you keep doing this.
Crystal said she want them too.
Girl, wait. So let me tell you, just get on it, okay? No, listen, don't waste time. Anyway, so he always tried to say, nah, because if you lift weights and this stuff will retract. And I'm like, nah, dude.
Right.
So now he done got mad at me because I done gotten way too thin. Right? So I'm like, so guess what? This shit ain't going nowhere. This shit ain't lifting. This shit ain't going nowhere. This shit has to be cut off, okay? So, you know, so at the end of the day, I was like, you don't even want me to lose any more weight, right? Because you're saying I'm disappearing. I'm like, well, yeah, I did, under muscle. So needless to say, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. He goes, okay. And my husband's always been very good, you know, very good in supporting, you know, me and, you know, doing things like this. So, you know, so of course
did you
now,
mentally have to prepare yourself this time? Because I know when you had the gastric bypass, you said you had to take, you know, a psychological test or whatever. Yep. So did you have to get mentally prepared for this as well?
Well, psychologically, no. But for the mental pain that I'm enduring,
right.
Yeah. But another thing that I'm very conscious now, is that I don't change.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. Yes, it does.
That I still remain authentic and real and not, you know, full of, let's say, full of yourself, because that's what people are going to think, because people will misconstrue confidence with someone being full of themselves, right? So now it's so funny because now I'm swollen, right? I'm so swollen, child. This is just, again, this is so uncomfortable. This is a process, and I have to trust the process.
How long is the process?
Oh, well, technically about a year, right? The healing process is about a year. But
she said, really, girl, bye, be full. She said, girl, bye. She said, you find out before.
Oh,
I love her.
Oh, so, but technically about 8 weeks, right? It's a good 8 to 12 week recovery process. And do you know what he said to me? You want to know the most evil thing that doctor said to me?
What did he say?
He said, Karina, you can't go to the gym for 3 months. That was literally that. He literally just took my sanity away for 3 months.
But girl, just think, when all this stuff is said and done, girl, that body.
I can't bench press anymore. I love, being on that thing and bench pressing.
So now that you had this boob job, you're not going to be able to
bench press. So I can do my curls, I can do my arm stuff, but as far as bench pressing, which is something that I've grown to love.
Well, honey, you better learn.
Do you want your implants to move? And I'm like, I do have to fly back post-op. I got to fly back at the end of February. So when he's like, do you want your implants to move? I'm like, no.
So how long was
no more bench pressing? Huh?
How long was your surgery?
4 hours.
For the breast and the tummy.
Yes. So most mommy makeovers come with like a liposuction. They call it, what is it, 2-area flank, something like that. He goes,
Mhm.
I ain't lipoing you. You ain't got nothing. All you have is skin. So
Mm.
so I did not get the liposuction. So I was a straight mommy makeover where he cut. And even then I felt so bad, Donna, because as I stood there naked, he was just like, hmm, hmm. So I done made this doctor think, because I'm sure I'm like, and so my insecure ass is like, damn, he ain't seen this saggy ass titties like this before. He ain't seen none of this before. I'm like, he over here concentrating as to how he gonna, fix this. So, it was one of those, um,
Oh, oh
about
Lord,
10 pounds, Crystal, about 10 pounds of skin.
so
So,
he, so
so
you,
when I
so
tell
you
you he
felt
had
like he
to,
was
so
scoping you out.
he just made a face like he's right here, and he's like, like he's sitting there thinking, like, because I know I'm not your run of the mill mommy makeover. He done seen all this stuff now. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm making it hard for you, huh? He goes, yeah. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm sorry. Oh my arm's out. I'm sorry. And so anyway, but then on the real tip, he did say I had decided on a certain, what you call cc's of breast, whatever. I wanted
Mm-hmm.
350. I didn't want nothing big.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, all right, cool, we can do it. So then he comes back, and this was in the cut. I don't even call it bad news. He said, I don't think I'll be able to do implants. And I'm like, why, doc? He goes, because of the length of where I guess everything was just drooping way too low. He said that I was gonna lose my nipple areola, that I was gonna
Mm-hmm.
lose.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, there will be no blood flow. And he goes,
Wow.
I don't want to risk your nipple areola for
Right,
implants.
right.
I said, you know what, doc? I don't care about them implants. I'm like, just lift them babies up. I don't care. Leave me in an A cup. I was like, I don't give a shit. Just lift them, okay? Because that's all I wanted was them. Yes, I didn't have anything, which is why I settled for, like, the 350s.
Right,
But
right,
but
right,
all I really wanted is for them to be lifted, okay?
right,
So
right.
so when I woke up, again, yeah, it was a rough wake up call, because one, I'm anemic, so it feels like you were left in Antarctica, butt ball naked, unconscious, and then you woke up. It was bad, okay? But when I saw these little mountains over here, I was like, I was like,
Girl,
so if
so
I'm like, I'm like, she goes, yeah, you got it. I'm like, but he said he wasn't gonna give it. He goes, yeah, you got it. I was like, great.
oh my
So
goodness.
even in my
Perky,
quick
Perky
whatever,
Patty.
I still managed to laugh, because I'm just like, whoa, I got implants, you know.
Oh, oh,
So
she
I
said
did not get
Perky Patty.
350s. I got 340s. So I got 340s. But again, I'm blessed that at least I got some. So I don't really. So now again, the healing process begins. These babies are high. I have to wear like these damn straps over through the day. But
Just think
uh,
how you gonna look. Just think how when you look at yourself in that mirror.
So wait, so of course I have been beating myself up all week about
Mm-hmm,
about the way I look, because at the end of the day, I'm
mm-hmm.
swollen. I got these thick like everything is just swollen.
Right,
I'm not me right now, right?
right, right.
So I have, how Denitra's got her show next week,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So, the guy's fashion show. So I had
yes.
picked an outfit. And
Mm.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fit in this, after surgery, blah, blah, blah. I tried that sucker on yesterday. That shit didn't fit. I'm like, I'm so mad. So so I'm having, again, here you go with your little my meltdowns.
Yes,
There's
yes.
again insecurity,
Mm-hmm,
self-esteem
mm-hmm.
issues.
Right, right.
So then
Well,
I'm looking for alternative outfits.
mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, today I was like, all right, I guess I'll wear some jeans and a cute top, and I found
Will
some
you
tops
go
that
back
fit.
down to your size though? Will you go back down to your original size?
I'm supposed to, yeah, because I mean he took so much fat from my midsection that
She said
I
you
don't
still
have
have
that
a week for
anymore.
your swelling to go down. Do you still have a
Well,
week
it's
for
been
your
a
swelling?
week. Yeah, I mean, it's been 7 days as of yesterday. So today's day 8.
So let me ask you this hard question. After you went through all this and you doing your drainage and stuff, did you say to yourself at any time, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, on the plane. That's what I was telling you. I was like, Corinne, what the fuck were you thinking? And I actually said it Monday because I had to still log into work Monday morning. And I was feeling like shit. I was feeling like shit, Donna, because again, the altitude, I was, because again, your blood is supposed to get lighter and all of that. And I was in the road to that. I got on that plane.
And now, so how long do you have to keep the drainage?
So according to the doctor, between 2 to 3 weeks, or at least until a full day, a full 24-hour day where it's only 25 of drainage.
And then would you have to go to your doctor to take it out?
So I'm going to go to my primary care doctor to get the drain out.
Okay.
I've already established that because I already knew, I had to get clearance for my PCP anyway for surgery. So I said, well, I'm going to Texas, so can I just come here for that? And he was like, yeah, cool.
Right.
But so let me tell you what happened right before I got into the show. I couldn't, I wasn't really happy with the outfits that I, picked out for next week. And I'm like, wait a second, I have a dress. This dress is from a wedding that I went to in 2019. No one's ever seen it. I went to Boston with the dress, and it was a cute little dress that, in my opinion, looked great on me then. But I'm telling you, had I had these babies back then. So I tried on the dress, and the boobs look so good. Oh! So it's the first, so literally right before I got into this show, it is literally the first time since surgery that I felt good about what I just did. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
So
because I know you well enough because because I was thinking, did she, after all this, the pain, because I mean, you want this body.
Girl, I'm in pain.
After you did it, I'm like, at any point she'd be like, really? But just think of the outcome that you're going to have.
I hope so.
And no, you can't hope, because if you didn't think that you was going to have the outcome that you want, I know you well enough to know that you wouldn't have done it.
True. I just needed, like I said, at the end of the day, I needed all this skin gone. But like I said, the part of my body that I was dissatisfied the most, because again, with your belly stuff, you can always wear some high-waisted underwear, and I've been able to mask that all these years. But these boobs, hated them. I just couldn't. These breasts, I couldn't.
So even like with a push-up bra, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could have, but if
you
could wear a cute top with no bra,
you want them to be perky.
Yeah. So I mean, I just wanted, like I said, I wanted to feel sexy, guys. Okay, it has nothing to do, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, we all want to feel sexy. I want to know what woman does not want to feel sexy, and if you don't want to feel sexy, you a damn lie. I'm sorry. So let's just keep it real right there.
Keep it real.
Let's keep it real right there. So I wanted to feel sexy, and there were many times where I know my husband did make me feel sexy, but I didn't feel sexy, and that would sometimes, like, and on a truth tip, that would fuck with my mind.
Yes.
Mentally in the bedroom sometimes, because I didn't feel it, and again, people could really, like I said, cover it up, but me, I keep it real. So, but there were just so many things that just sometimes would stop me from fully having an experience because I felt subconscious about my skin.
And that's real talk. And and like me and you, we always talk candid.
Yeah.
And that's, people can say, what she said? She said, your brain, I can't hardly see.
She said, your brain and those lies are louder than hubby's compliments.
I I love her. I love Crystal. Me and her coach together. We coach together. But you know, this is the thing, and you know, we keep it real. You can have a spouse, a significant other, to make you feel sexy or whatever, whether you're in the bed or out of the bed.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if we as women don't feel that level of confidence, that level of security and secure in who we are, it doesn't matter what they do, you know, it doesn't, because at the end of the day, we need to feel confident in who we are. And it could be vice versa with a man, because if a man feels like he, you know, don't put on some weight, you know, or whatever the case may be, we can say you're sexy. We can tell them they look good. But if they don't feel good about themselves, it ain't gonna matter what we say.
Yeah, so
because
true.
It's a personal thing. It's a personal thing. And then you wonder why you getting into bed, you're cutting the lights off, and then you don't wear certain things.
That's it. That's it. You look at Crystal. Exactly.
You cutting the lights off, and you know, and it's like, well, you know, you have on this lingerie, but hey, I got this lingerie on. You don't even need to see me in it. All you just need to know is I have it on because you want me to look sexy. So I'm gonna look sexy. And now you have to use your imagination to really see how I look in it, because it's gonna be dark.
So, you know, so then when I tried on this dress, like I said, let me tell you, I felt so confident.
Good.
Girl, I was like, yes, I got the dress. I felt it gave me all the feels that I wanted. And just for those 5 minutes, I was like, oh my God, this was a good idea. I'm like, the boobs look great in this dress. Oh my God. I was like, yeah.
But but you know, Crystal's is starting to get ideas with Black folks. But I love how you do what you need to do for you.
And that's self-love.
That's self-love. And
right
that's self-esteem too. That is self-love. That's self-esteem. Hey, Terrence, thank you for joining. But see, Karina, don't you find that if we, men or women, can be honest, open, and transparent with themselves.
With yourself.
Because at the end of the day, your boo can tell you you look good, but if you don't feel it, or your girlfriends, your homeboys can say you look good, but if you don't feel it, it doesn't matter how much they tell you that you feel good. And so, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, and I am just as straight as we can be, but I'm just looking forward to seeing how you just gonna be rocking this runway. And you know, and I'm gonna tell you right now, people, you are ready. And I'm gonna ask you this, because you know how the modeling world is, because we, you know, we deal with this. Have you already prepared yourself, if you will, for the naysayers? Let's put it that way.
No, I have not. But one thing I know for sure is that I've kind of always walked in my truth.
Right, you have.
And I have to continue on that.
Amen to that.
Because the naysayers will always be there. I'm sure there could be naysayers now before the surgery, and I'm sure there will be naysayers now. Who the hell do you think she is? Blah. I don't give a fuck. Because what did we say at the beginning? Are you in the arena with me now?
Right. No. And this is the thing. And you know how I always tell you about my circle of friends. Crystal says she's jealous. Thank you guys for the heart.
Don't be jealous. You do it too. You want to do it, go ahead and do it. Make yourself happy, honey. I did. I mean, right now I feel miserable. I'm bloated and swollen.
But you know what? Because you're going to see the outcome. And you know, with you and I, when we live in our truth, our own truth, that's when we can truly be free. When we take the mask off, because this is a decision that you made for you.
Yes.
Not for your husband, not for your kids. You made it for Karina, because at the end of the day, like you said, when you stood before the mirror, saw what you saw and you didn't like that. And so who am I? Because like I said, I love your shape. I love how you dress. I love how your clothes look on you. But at the end of the day, that's not gonna make you feel good.
Right.
When you look in the mirror.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and so, and I love your boldness. I love your transparency. That's why when you and I connected, I said, she has to be my once a month, because you know, we just get down and dirty.
Girl, we do. You know what we do. And then at the end of the day, I mean, if you're really going to sit there and judge me over these little 340s, then you don't know who I am at all. Then you don't really know who I am at all. So I guess, you know, so no.
So let me ask you this question. What is the first thing that you want to buy once you become whole and healed? What is a piece of garment that
I already have it in my closet? I already bought it. I mean, come on, sis. You know me. I told you I bought an outfit just for the show. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, the boobs are going to look great. And now I'm like, ew, because I'm swollen. Because again, you in your mind, you have a mental image of what you think you're going to look like, right?
Exactly.
And right now, I don't look like that, right? So the outfit, I can't use it. I don't know. So of course I'm like, damn, I bought this outfit for this day and I don't think I'll be able to pull it off. So it was disappointing.
You still have another week.
I do. I mean, it'll be my second outfit. But when I tell you, but when again, as I did my little fashion show right before I logged on for you,
right. I
said, and then I tried, like I said, it was some jeans, a couple tops, and of course my husband's like, you're gonna need some booby tape for that. So of course, I said, well, I was like, I'll try. You know, I was like, yeah, I'll adjust. You know,
right.
But then I remembered I had this dress, right? And this dress was from 2019. I wore it to Boston in a wedding, and I've never worn it since. So no one's ever seen it. You're going to have to literally scroll back to 2019 and see the pictures from this wedding.
Well, I planned on being at the fashion show.
Oh, so you'll see the dress. so like I said, on a girly tip, you know, I tried on the dress. And I was like, yeah. It's been the first time since surgery that I've actually been looking forward to it, because it filled the dress in all the right places. I was like, yeah.
And you know what? And that's a good thing. And I'm gonna be seeing you, because I am going to be doing some, like, a pop-up live.
Oh, you are?
Yes, for Hot Topics with Donna. So I'm excited about that. But let me ask you this, because you know we always just talk about, you know, you modeling and how your husband felt about it. Do you think it's gonna change how he feels?
Yes. God, I'm not ready.
How he feels about, because I know before, you know, it was like he didn't want you to model as much. You know, you was here, you was there. But now,
stay tuned.
Or should I say, how did you prepare him for this surgery?
Well,
I mean, not saying that you wasn't going to do it, but I'm saying what was the conversation leading up to when you realized that this is sure enough going to happen?
Boudoir. I don't know about that yet. I don't know. But I mean, we talked about it, and I think that, again, you don't know until you see. So for example, as I was trying on these tops, that's when he was like, you're gonna have to adjust. So honestly, that's gonna be a stay tuned type of conversation, because again,
so this will be maybe next month.
No, it'll be farther down the line, because I don't know if I'm not scheduled to do any shows next month, because I'm still in the healing in the process. I mean, even next week is still questionable, because I still have this darn drain, and if I don't get this drain out by the end of the week, I don't know if I'll be even present. And if I am present, it'll be very I won't be around that many people because I don't want to, because again, I'm still open. I'm
Yes,
still a very
yes.
fragile being, and having this open stuff, and so
Krista
I
said a
may
Valentine's photo shoot. She said a Valentine's photo shoot.
uh maybe. I mean, that sounds like a good idea, but
But do you think it's
I
gonna
don't
be?
know.
Do you think
All
he's
I
gonna
know is
be?
that I don't know, Donna. I don't know what this is gonna bring because you already know he was already on 200 before
Yeah.
that. So
Yes. Yes.
but
Absolutely.
that's gonna have to be a journey that we can always touch on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And I think when he sees how you are, because it's not going to change your personality.
no,
It's not going to change
exactly.
your realness. It's not going to
No,
do that. But
no.
what it is, I think he's going to see your level of confidence in loving yourself even the more,
The more.
even the more, even the more. And
And, mhm.
and whether he do or not, that's just your truth. That hey,
I hate to
I
say he's
think
gonna have to deal with it because at the end of the day, to me, this journey
it's
was
for you.
just as epic as the gastric bypass journey.
Yes, yes.
And I didn't know that this journey was going to take me, obviously, here where I
Mm-hmm,
am now.
mm-hmm,
And I
mm-hmm.
think now, here I am now again, about to embark a new one. And
Right,
I mean, I can't tell you what it's going to, what's going to be, but
right.
I definitely want to make a promise to myself to remain the same authentic, loving, caring, giving, just
And I
with more
think you will.
boundaries. That's what I'm trying to learn. With more boundaries,
With
Karina,
more boundaries.
more
Well,
self-loving, Karina, like you said, saying
well,
no, not saying yes all the time, just, making more time for myself type of stuff.
yeah.
But for the most part,
And
I don't plan on changing. Why?
no,
Why?
and because that's just not who you are.
No.
And you just have to trust. You just have to trust that people that love you, truly love you, and genuinely love you are going to support your decision, are going to help you
In the journey.
grow even the more on your journey. And
Huh?
I mean, I love you with or
I love
without the
you.
surgery because you don't change, and that's why I love when we first met. We just hit it off, and I
Yes.
knew that you were just you, and that's why I stay true to who I am. And like
Ditto.
Crystal, when I met her, her and I just clicked. But you have to just accept your journey,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, you you're gonna be you. I know you're probably gonna buy you some sexy undergarments because
I
all
bought
this
some
gonna be.
already. I told you I got it already.
So have you picked out a bathing suit?
No, I have not. That I have not picked out yet. Because, since when do I think I never thought of myself in a two-piece?
But you're gonna wear one this year, right?
I'm gonna try. I gotta find the right one though. I gotta find the right one that I feel good in. But
Right. Well, you know
let's
what?
pray.
I can say this. You probably won't so much care about the bottom as long as you got that top and your and your
When you
and
see
your
me next
hoo-ha
week,
just-
Donna, in that dress, I'm like, Donna, this is the
they gonna be setting up so nice, and I'll be
Girl.
like, wow. And then I'm gonna tell Crystal, girl, I'm gonna say those things look real nice, and she gonna be like, maybe, just maybe.
No, it was like I said, I look good in the dress in 2019.
Right.
But damn it, I look good in this dress a few minutes ago. But I had them boobs 3 years ago. It would have been great.
Yes, but
no.
you know what? I am so proud of you. I'm so proud that you took this step for you.
Yeah,
And
I made a bold move.
and that was a bold move.
It was a pretty damn bold
Before
move.
we close, when you had the gastric bypass, did you ever once consider doing the boob job at that time, or did you? But,
again, I've always wanted it. I've always wanted it. I would say maybe 4 years out.
Right.
And again, he kept saying, "Nah, babe, just just go lift some weights and blah." But I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
again, now here I am at 135 pounds,
Yeah.
more skin. Ain't nothing lifted. Ain't nothing sucked back. Nothing retracted, is what they say, retract. Ain't none of that shit happened. That shit just went, drip some more. So I said, that shit's got to come off. Plain and simple.
And so before we close, so the implants, they come in different,
They come in different
they come by
sizes.
number. They come
Yep.
by different.
Yes. So there's obviously there's saline and silicone. I opted for the saline because if something pops, at least my body will be able to absorb the saline
Okay,
as
gotcha.
opposed to silicone. But they do come in different sizes. Again, I wanted 350s, ended up with 340s. And you know what's so cool about boobs? You get like a card, like an ID card with like a serial number with them bad boys. So, you know, I got to put that shit in a safe now. You know, because God forbid I burn, they'll find my boobs, and they'll know they belong to me. They can identify my body through my boobs. Let's trying to be funny, but yeah. So now I have like this little certification card with my boob. I was like, really?
Hey, so you are really, really authentic. Those things are really like.
Yep, they're certified and numbered, honey.
I love you, girl.
That's how they're like, here's your implants. That's what I'm saying. Like when I was like, I got implants. She goes, boop. She gives me the paper with the card and the thing. I'm like, she goes, yep, here's your certification. And I'm like, certification? I was like, it's cold. I was cold as hell. But I was like, you know, I acknowledged them for a second, and I went back to my body being cold and, you know, shivering or whatever. But yeah.
So hey, look, you're legal now.
I'm legal. Yeah, they're not illegal boobs. They certified.
They certified.
They certified.
So let me ask you this one more thing. So will you, because I know a lot of people, you know, they say like once they have a boob job, you don't have to wear a bra.
That depends on the size that you wanted.
Okay.
Because I know that some people really want to go big or whatever. See, for me, I wanted not exactly. I don't have to wear a bra with mine if I don't want to.
Okay. Okay.
I told him, I said, can you put some squeakers in for him too? You know, so he can squeak. He's like, nah, I don't have any of those, and stop. But I tried.
Yeah. Well,
I tried to ask him to put some squeakers in it, but you know, some little thing. But you know, he said he didn't have any squeakers to put in them. But you know.
right.
But yeah, no, yeah, I wanted, like I said, I didn't want nothing big because I've never had big breasts to begin with, even in my thin days.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what I would have been able to, you can see, look at Crystal squeakers. I didn't know what I could adjust to something that was big.
Right.
So I was being realistic. I was like, listen, doc, I just want a C cup.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want a C cup.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went by that C cup.
Well, well, so did you research this doctor?
I did. Again, the company's called Mia Aesthetics. My doctor's name is Dr. Sheripu. He's awesome. They have many locations nationwide, actually. They're in Miami. My doctor's in Austin, Texas. I think they have a Houston location too, but they have Atlanta. So if you guys want to check, I heard Dr. Fasuzzi's, he's slaying girls over there in Atlanta.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a place in Chicago. I'm trying to think, like Vegas. But so he's growing. The owner's growing, and they're pretty reasonable. They are. I mean, like I said, I went with whatever worked for me.
And that's the main thing. Whatever works for you. My Robert's on here, so I guess he's saying when you get healed, you're gonna do a photo shoot.
Yes, Robert.
He's out of Virginia. She said, "Did you travel by yourself?"
I did. So what's so really cool about this? I know that most people, may not want to go through this alone or whatever, but I stayed in a recovery house, and the recovery house, it was through Mia. They picked me up at the airport, right? They take me back and forth to my pre-op, all my post-op appointments, and back to the airport when I go. Matter of fact, they were even kind enough to let me go to the gym the day before the surgery. So that wasn't part of the, you know, the package or whatever. But they also feed you. You have your meals, your snacks, and you know, you get around the clock care, and they do your laundry. So it beats having to go to the hotel, getting a rental, getting somebody else's airfare and all of that. They took care of it. So it was me just flying, you know, landed in Austin, Texas. I got picked up and dropped off, and everything else was taken care of, if that makes, you know. And then to me, and then for me, that was, you know, a nice, good, you know, peace of mind to have. And I'm sure, I'm sure that maybe not every doll's experience was the same. But the recovery house that I stayed at, they were wonderful. It was, what were they called? Texas Recovery House, I think. Like I said, I haven't really made this public till now. So, and they were great. You know, like I said, the girls made sure that I had a very balanced meal with my protein, my vegetables, and you know, low sodium. And like I said, I had, you know, my recliner. I had to stay in the recliner the whole time. You know, I couldn't sleep in a bed. So, you know, I was taken care of. And again, to have all of that, because you're not going to get that in a hotel room.
No, you're not. And Crystal said, was that included the package?
It was. So, you know, and like I said, it depends on the surgeon. It depends on location. So again, whatever fits your budget, look them up. They were pretty good. But again, it was so carefree, you know, that I felt that, you know, I was going to be okay. I just, like I said, I just flew back home too soon. And I really don't, I do not recommend that part. I had to, but then on top of that, they changed my surgery date. So I was supposed to, you know, go under on Wednesday. They changed it to a Thursday. So that left me. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to leave 5 days after, blah. I was like, but I'll leave Sunday. That's 4 days. I should be okay. And, you know, and then when they literally changed it to Thursday, I'm like, shit. Now I gotta leave 3 days post-op. I'm like, dang, you know, I was just like, damn it. So I had to then, on top of that, then mentally prepare myself to take a trip 3 days after this major, you know, procedure. So, and again, my body really did pay for it. Monday, I mean, again, even though, again, blessed and thankful that I work from home. You know, that, I mean, that's the thankful part, but shit, I still felt like shit Monday, you know?
Yeah, because you still got to get up and do a job.
Do my job. And, and then of course, you know, Tuesday. So again, I ended up losing way more blood than I should have because I did that, you know? So I had to make sure that I was, you know, make sure my hemo was straight, drinking my liquid irons, my iron pills, my smoothie that I remember, I reeled that in my Instagram. Hi, Dennis. So yeah, so I had to really replenish my body of obviously the nutrients that it lost, and then it ended up losing more because I got on that plane way too soon. So yeah, no.
So your whole eating habit is going to have to change as well.
My what?
Are your eating habits going to have to change?
For now. I mean, yeah, for now, because again, you lose, I mean, even though this is not as bloody as it was, I'm still losing blood. So I'm still, I mean, I got to get constant massages every day. So, you know, the post-op care is still, you know, I got to take care of myself, but I'm still bleeding. So this right here, this is, even though it's not as red, this is still blood. Okay.
So, absolutely.
So I got to be very, you know, conscious and careful about what I eat. Matter of fact, you know, when you're sick and you just want something that brings you. So I had some rice and beans. I made some Dominican food, and I think I might have put a little too much adobo on that sucker. Yeah.
Well,
you cannot eat salty foods because again, you'll retain more water. You'll be more swollen. So, you know, I really, you know, again, your body really did go into shock.
Yeah.
And I got to remind myself that because again, I can't sit freaking still. I'm always on the go. I'm always doing something. You know, it's almost like God's like, yeah, Karina, can you slow down, please? Can you bend you know,
How
can
do you sleep at night? Like flat?
so technically I'm supposed to have a recliner, but I don't have one here. So I sleep in my bed with a lot of pillows. And as matter of fact, my neck pillow, my treble neck pillow has been my homie. So so now I sleep you know, like literally like reclined on in the bed. And because I have the drain on my right, I sort of sleep towards like my left more.
Right,
So
right,
technically my left side of my body is more swollen than my right.
right,
So that's uncomfortable. And I managed to, my son has a gaming chair.
right,
Thank God for his gaming chair, his very expensive gaming chair. So I've been able to recline, put my feet up, and you know,
right.
have my pillows, and then sit back and still be on the computer and have the keyboard on my, you know, on my legs, and the mouse is
Right,
not
right.
far. So I've been able to at least replicate the recliner in the bed, and I've been able to replicate the recliner in the chair for work. So so like I said, besides feeling weak from the loss of blood, and of
Right.
course the pain, today's what, day 4, no
Absolutely.
meds.
Yeah,
Today's day 4, no meds. So I'm trying to really
good.
not be under meds, because these meds are just, well,
Yeah,
gross.
yeah. And it probably strong too.
They are. And
Yeah.
and then let me tell you, so I feel like, you know, when you cut yourself and you have this like a big cut and it scabs,
Right,
right? And if you move, you know, the scab hurts a little.
right.
So I feel like my whole body is a scab. So all of this
Wow.
is you know, it's tight like a scab, and all this down here is tight like a scab. So you
Right.
know, and then of course, oh, and I have no feeling in my abdomen, and they say that's gonna be like almost a year. So you know,
Wow.
yeah, I'm telling you, my body's going through some things, girl.
Yes, yes. Well, just I know all you're thinking about is the outcome.
Yeah, well, like I said, I hope it's worth the pain, because we already said, I'm like, I'm gonna be so mad.
You're gonna be mad.
I'm gonna be so
But
mad.
I really truly believe you're gonna
Thanks, Crystal.
you're gonna rejoice when you see the outcome. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna rejoice with you because you took a bold move for you.
I did.
And that's all that matters. And you know what? That's what it says about self-love and self-esteem. We have to take bold move. We have to do it big. We have to do it bold.
Yeah.
And
So Crystal,
not worry
do it.
about comparing ourselves to other people.
No.
Just know who we are. And at the end of the day, if we don't love ourselves, we definitely can't expect anybody else to love us.
Yeah.
We are. And one thing I will say, when we know our love language, we can do that.
Yes, we can. I say it's good to learn people's love language. It would make the relationship so much better.
Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, but that's, you know, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, they got a book out, The 5 Love Languages. And it's good for intimate relationships, family relationships, friend relationships,
all kinds
spouses,
of relationships.
It teaches you who you are and what is your love language. Because when you know your love language, then you can teach other people how to love you, because they'll know this is your love language. And people need to know what your love language is in order for them to really and truly embrace who you are.
And if you know the other person's love language, you also then do things that they love, because you could be doing something for them that is not part of their love language, so you feel unappreciated. I'm like, oh my God, I've done this and this and this and that, but that's not their love language, right? So if you operate from their love language, then you know you will also feel the reward from giving, right? Because I like to give, but we don't want to give in vain, right? We don't want to give and feel like we're used, or that we're not being understood that we're giving. So if we're giving from the understanding of where they from their love language, oh my God, I'm telling you, the relationships are so much better. Trust me, guys.
It is. And I somebody had recommended that book for my late husband and I, because like you said, you think you like one thing, but then when you truly read this book, you will realize, wow, I didn't know my love language after all.
Yeah.
So, but we have to know our love language. And girl,
and Daring Greatly, everybody, by Brene Brown. Pick up the book. Oh, look, Dennis says quality time and physical touch. See? Yeah.
And Dennis, I'm trying to plug my phone up too. But Dennis, that is so funny you say that, because that is so my love language. And you know, and as you get older, your love language can change. It doesn't mean that it can stay. It doesn't mean that you can have one or without the other. Some people may have 3 of them. But right now, mine is quality time and physical touch. And as me and Karina was saying, physical touch doesn't mean sexual all the time.
No.
It does not.
I am words of affirmation and acts of kindness. Like, to me,
yeah, and when people read it, that's, you know, and when you say physical touch, people automatically think, oh, well, that's intimate. No, it is intimate when you can have that physical touch, a hug, or just a touch on the hand, or a touch on the shoulder. And when we can learn those physical touch things, then we can know who we are, truly who we are to the core. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know your language. And if people don't know their language, hey, I suggest.
I mean, like I said, we all share a little bit of all 5, but again, you know, Robert's like, photography is mine. He goes, see, Crystal, I'm a hugger. Me too. I love hugging. I love hugging.
He said love language. Your husband said love language overrated.
Robert says his photography is his love language.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I, you know, I am so truly thankful.
And me too.
I'm truly thankful for you. I am truly thankful that you chose my platform, our platform, to share your truth, to share your journey on your new journey with having surgery. And you could have easily just did it whenever you wanted to. But I'm thankful that you chose Hot Topics with Donna.
Oh my God. And like I said, I think that because we were talking about, you know, self-esteem and self-love and, you know, acceptance, I think I'm like, man, this is the perfect subject to share, you know, this news.
And
because
who knew when I told you what I wanted us to talk about, because you and I talk about so many things, and I wanted to kind of hound in on the love, the self-love, the self-worth, especially for women. And guys, we're not discriminating, but we're in a season of women, teaching women how to love themselves, even if it means we're being honest and open and transparent with our own failures, our own shortcomings, because if we're being honest and open, then maybe we can help the next sister. And maybe we can help the next brother say, wow, maybe I need to look at her from this point of view, from this perspective, so they can understand the person that they want to get involved with. Through us as women sharing our story. And maybe if you have someone that's acting this way because of our own truth, you may say, wow, now that makes sense. Now I understand. So now I know how to deal with her on a different level. Instead of thinking she's needy and she's aggressive and she's all these other things, when only thing that she's saying is, or could be saying is, I just want you to see me. I just want you to know when I'm hurting. If I don't say anything and I look different or act different, it's not that I'm mad. It's just that I need you to acknowledge that something's not right. You know?
And that right there, that's love. That's love right there. When someone really knows it. Karina, you okay? It is so funny because I am that transparent that even my coworkers know, even by the tone of my voice. You okay? I'm like, dang. I'm like, I'm just I'm too predictable, I guess. You know, you know, but they know, even by the sound of my voice, they already know if I'm good or not good. Yeah, no, they know.
And that's when people are in tune with who we are. They're in tune with who we are. But you just continue to heal, and I hope I see you next Sunday, because I'm really excited about branching out with Hot Topics with Donna.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Listen, I'm gonna be there, but depending on this drain, if it's in or not, that'll determine how much I will be able to do that day. So I may not be able to do much. I may just be able to pop in, do some whatever, and leave. Because like I said, I'm still open. I'm still gonna have, you know, this thing is open.
Right. And you have to be careful, because You know, you don't want to get sick. You don't want to, you know, get no infection.
Yes, it was great, Crystal.
Yes, I love you, Crystal. But just take care of yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yeah.
remember, we always say you can't be at every place all the
Girl,
time.
I know. I gotta remind myself that.
And I know, and look, and I know you want to, but you can't. But truly, truly, thank you. It's an honor when
thank
you
you
can have people
for having me on your
platform
platform.
that can be honest, open, and transparent. Because when we share our truth, we're helping. If it's
Other
only
people.
one, if it's only one, because
One is all it
we're
takes.
living in a place where women and men are hurting, and it's time for us to learn how to have self-love, self-esteem, self-worth.
Yes.
And we have to accept where we at.
Where we're at.
And before we leave, the scripture that I read for acceptance is, those the Father has given me will come to me, and I will never reject them.
Yes.
That's John 6 and 20.
Was it 6:37? You said
6 and 37. 6 and 37.
Yeah.
And so when we know that our Father loves us, in spite of our shortcomings, in spite of our flaws, it can't get no better than that.
Nope.
It can't.
And he loves my flaw behind. So if he loves me, he loves you, child.
Absolutely.
Know that.
Absolutely. But I love you.
I love
you. We'll
you.
get together and we'll figure out what day next month we can chit chat again. Oh, but let me show you something cool. And I'll try to bring you one. So, you know, I advertise Donna Taylor Network, right? So now I have my logos for Donna Taylor Network. I have my shirts. Girl, I am so excited.
Are you bringing any of them for sale for the
No. If I come, I'll make you one and bring it to you. I just got it.
Well,
I'm
can
just
I have
doing
a wine glass? Because you know I'm always sipping wine every time I talk to you. So can I get my Donna glass, please? Thank you.
I will, but girl, and so this one right here, you know how you a kid in a candy store, you're trying to get stuff. So I was trying to put it on there, and my friend was like, "You didn't do that right." I was like, "I know, I don't care." I was like, I was just trying to like see my work, my product. But I am, and so I have a shirt too. So this is going to be the first time coming to the fashion show that I'm going to be doing some pop-ups. I'm just excited about where God is taking me. But Crystal, I got you too. But yeah, I would definitely do your wine glass. But girl,
I'm with you. I am so proud of you. Oh my God. Love it.
Oh, thank you, Crystal. But yeah, so I got those. So I'm gonna be in the doing that. And so we thought about getting t-shirts made or shirts made that I can have people wear to be a walking billboard for me.
Absolutely. You know I rock that shirt proudly, child.
I know you will. And so you guys just go subscribe to my YouTube page, Donna Taylor Network. I have been uploading my videos. I uploaded so many today, they told me I can't upload no more till tomorrow.
Fine. Tomorrow it is.
So that's my goal, is to upload all my Hot Topics videos on my YouTube page so people can go see on that platform too. So you guys just go subscribe. Thank you, my sister. I love you.
And again, my name is Karina Beltran. You can find me on Instagram, same way, KarinaBeltre. And you can just find me on IG. And again, my rhythmlifestyle@gmail.com.
Dennis said he has to step out. What he say? He got to step out.
I have to step out. You ladies, please have a great night. You too, Dennis.
Oh yeah, you too. We get ready to go. But
we get ready to hang up anyway.
I love you. Be safe out there. I don't know if it's snowing where you guys are, but just truly be safe. But I love you.
I love you. Bye.
Good night. Bye. Guys, thank you for tuning in. If you are just coming on, thank you for tuning in with another episode of Hot Topics with Donna. Guys, please go back and watch the video. It's very powerful. Tonight, Karina and we talked about self-love. We talked about self-esteem. And most of all, we talked about being accepted by our Father. And if He accepts you, we can't allow people to make us feel less than.
I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in week after week with me and my guests that come on here and allow themselves to be honest, open, and transparent. And on Hot Topics with Donna is where we interview ordinary people doing extraordinary things in their lives and in their communities. And guys, I do not take it lightly for my guests coming on. I do not. Some I know, some I do not know, but they so gracious to accept the invitation to come on and share their life's challenges and their accomplishment with you and the viewers. Thank you, Robert. But it's just been a blessing to be on this journey that I'm on, that I have been on. And I tell you all the time, when I do this, if one person's life is changed by my guests, then I've done what God has set before me to do with Hot Topics with Donna. And I don't take it lightly. I don't. People share their truth with us because of who we are and what we stand for. We are never going to try to belittle, make people feel ashamed of their truth. We're here to empower even our viewers, even our guests, so they can know that, hey, they have self-love, they have self-worth, because people are hurting every day because something or someone have made them feel less than. But as we stated tonight, when you know who you are in Christ, that is the most beautiful thing ever. So remember, he loves you first. He loves you more than anyone or anything. Because when he allowed you to be born, you were born with a purpose. You was born with a purpose, whether you know what your purpose is or not. Trust the plan, trust the process, and do what he needs you to do in your life. It may look crazy to other people, but that's okay. It may even look crazy to you, and that's okay. Because when I started doing this, I was like, I don't know about all this, but I do it week after week, trusting that God is going to give me what to say, show me how to do it even the more. So until then, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And if it's snowing where you at, be careful. Love each other, but most of all, love who you are. In whatever area of your life that you need God to step in to give you more self-esteem, to teach you how to love self first, he'll do it. He absolutely will do it because he did it for me. I haven't always had self-esteem. Sometimes I still don't get it sometimes, but one thing I do know, when he tells me who I am, I bank on every word that he says I am. No matter if people try to belittle me or if they try to belittle you. But whenever the Father tells you that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, you are amazing, you're smart, take it to the bank because he means that from his heart. And until next week, if God's willing, we will be back here again on Hot Topics with Donna, where we do it honest, open, and transparent. And until then, I love you guys and have a wonderful, wonderful night. Goodbye.